This is a Tesla stock catalyst of a decade, which could send Tesla stock 10% higher in one single day. Then this inevitably becomes announced. Tesla Boomer Mommer just started this petition for a Tesla stock buyback, and it's already, within just 12 hours, it has 1,500 signers. And now it has close to 2,000 signers. And the reason why I believe Tesla stock would go up about 10% higher with the announcement of a buyback is because when Elon sold Tesla stock just $4 billion, the stock went down close to 10% lower. So imagine if you do a buyback of 5 billion or 10 billion, that's more than 4 billion. A lot of Tesla stock retail investors feel that Elon is not paying attention to Tesla anymore. But luckily, Elon Musk just now, today on Twitter, he said that he will, of course, not forget the Tesla gang. So with Tesla's future looking really bright, let's dive into this possible buyback. What are the reasons to do it? Does it make sense to do it? What do I think as an all-in Tesla stock investor in my stock portfolio? When you look at the market overall, it does not look good. Even ARK today is losing people that are invested in the fund, it would appear, when looking at ARK's outflows. Big thanks to Tesla Boomer Mommer for putting this chart together. I personally believe that the buyback is really inevitable. It's just a matter of time, and it would appear to me that the board eventually will give in to what shareholders actually want. However, it is clear, we have to point out that Alexandra simply just wants to get this on the agenda. Of course, there are many problems with this particular way to get people's opinions because we don't know if any of those signers are actually Tesla stock investors, and then how many shares do they have? That's another question. This is just to put it on the agenda for the board and for the company to really think about. And if they have good reasons not to do it, Alexander says that is fine. Looking at the replies, it's overwhelmingly positive. Most people do want the buyback. Now, this could be a little bit skewed because Alexandra has been a big supporter of a buyback. So naturally, you will draw people first. Your followers are going to be the ones that will also be supporting what you support. So let's dive into both sides, the one supporting the buyback and the other that says, no buybacks for now. Let's cool down, everybody. Let's dive in, and then I will present my opinion as well. First question we need to answer is Tesla stock on sale right now? When we look at the Tesla stock price, we see that clearly it is down. However, that doesn't mean much because if earnings collapse, then it's not a good company anymore. You could make an argument, at least. However, then we look at this, we can see that the estimates for earnings have continuously been going up, and they are not looking to be slowing down at all. This is happening all while the stock is going down. So is Tesla stock on sale? It would clearly appear to me that yes, it is certainly on sale. However, is this the end? Is this the bottom? Well, largely, the current situation that we have in the stock market is because the Fed is continuing to increase the rates. And lately, with the good PPI and CPI numbers telling us that maybe, just maybe, this is the end of bad inflation. Maybe this was a good indicator to the Fed to slow down and maybe even decrease the rates. But we know that now the Fed is possibly going to be hawkish again, meaning they will increase rates maybe, and this is very bad for the whole stock market. So we don't really know. If Fed increases the rates more, this is going to be very bad for the stock market and also Tesla. If you are a Tesla stock shareholder, then you trust Elon Musk's judgment and probably believe what he says more than other people. Elon said that recession is inevitable, not likely, not probably, inevitable, and that he thinks it will last for next year and a half. This is going to crush all stocks if indeed we do have a very bad, deep, and inevitable recession. And I personally, in August, I said that Tesla stock is more likely to go down than to go up. However, I didn't sell because I am keeping Tesla stock for until at least the end of 2030. And long term, how do you time full self-driving? I don't know. So I'm staying in the stock. But if you like to see, I did say that it most likely will drop further. But now the stock has dropped a lot. So how much more can it drop? That is the big question. And also, will Elon Musk keep selling Tesla stock? If he does not, that puts Tesla stock at a much better position than if Elon just keeps selling the stock indefinitely to fund and save Twitter. With such a high probability of a very bad recession, what I like is cash in the bank. I would also like to ask you this. If you're a long-term Tesla stock shareholder, what difference does it make if Tesla does a buyback right now versus after the recession 2 years, let's say, from now, or a year from now? It's not that much of a difference, is it? That is, unless the stock just rockets and triples, quadruples, then of course there would be quite a difference. However, one thing that is a little bit concerning, Troy, who has a spectacular track record of predicting deliveries of Tesla, and this one, everyone got that one wrong, so his estimate is not looking exactly very good, unfortunately. His current estimate for Q4 is only 415,000, and analyst consensus is 429,000. And if Troy is right, when we do have those delivery numbers coming out, you know what the stock is going to do. Tesla announced deliveries for Q3 on October 2nd, and look what happened. The stock completely tanked. You know, if you watch my channel, that generally I was against a Tesla stock buyback. However, the price looking so good, I am starting to change my mind. Now it doesn't look so bad. When I said no buyback, when I said that all the way right here, right? It doesn't look that bad. One thing is very clear. The earnings are improving and the stock price just keeps going down. This cannot continue forever. It just simply cannot. This is not Bitcoin, for example, that has no inherent value other than the value that other people assign to it. Tesla stock has actual value because it produces profits. Bitcoin does not pay me money if I own it. Very selfishly, because I am buying Tesla stock still, I will be buying a few $100,000 of Tesla stock just very soon, and hopefully up to about $1 million in the next, hopefully before the end of the year, and possibly maybe a little bit after that as well. I prefer no buyback, but that is a very selfish reason. For Tesla as a company, I think we are approaching that point where it starts to make sense. Now, I would personally prefer about $30 billion of cash for Tesla, but over $20 billion, I think I wouldn't mind too much if Tesla uses some of that money for a buyback. 2020, which was a whole different kind of disaster, for which Tesla did very, 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 very well. So we just sort of have an idea of how Tesla would do in a recession. But I'm just afraid that this next one could be even worse. And Tesla is scaling up its production. We still don't have the cheaper model. So I am just a little bit worried what's happening with the whole world, and also, that the two biggest economies in the world, they don't exactly get along, and until Tesla is more diversified with its factories, so once Berlin and Texas ramp up their production and we move away from being so reliant on China for Tesla, then I am all for it. And with so much shareholder pressure to do a buyback, for example, Leo is one of the biggest Tesla stock shareholders. It really looks to me that it's inevitable at this time for a Tesla stock buyback. Leo went as far as proposing $1 trillion buyback. That is from 2026 to 2030, and then $100 billion buyback from 2022 to 2026. These are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. My name is Matt Postis, reporting to you from Vancouver City, Canada. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and always do that in the beginning of the video to support the channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later today.